Okay, so today is 9.7. Whoops. 9.7. Solving exponential equations. Equations with logs. So at this point, you should be pretty familiar with logs and the log properties. And we're actually going to use these log properties, specifically one log property, to help us solve exponential equations. So sometimes it's not possible for an exponential equation to have a common base, right? And we know that if they do have a common base, we can just set the exponents equal to each other. But sometimes they just can't have a common base. So when this is the case, we use logs to get the x out of the exponent, right? Because our issue is, and we'll see this with, let me write an example first. So like, let's say we have 5 to the power of x over 5 equals 75, okay? Our issue with these equations is that x is in the exponent, and I don't know how to deal with it when x is in the exponent. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the log of both sides, because I know that if I have the log of something that has an exponent, I can move the exponent to the front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the log of both sides. So log 5x to the 5th and log of 75, right? Because if you do something to one side, you have to do it to the other side. Now I'm gonna use the power log property, right? And that says that exponents are gonna move to the front. So I have x over 5 log 5 equals log 75. Now that x is not in the exponent anymore, I can just do a normal equation. Now you might be getting a little bit lost with the log parts, but remember, log 5 is just a number, right? And log 75 is just a number, right? So we act as if it is a number. So first things first is I'm gonna divide, I'm trying to get the x by itself, so I'm gonna divide both sides by log of 5. So when I do that, I'm gonna be left with x over 5 equals log 75 over log 5. Now we can use our calculator to see what that is. Okay, so in the calculator, I'm going to do log is underneath x squared, so log 75 divided by log 5. Okay, and if I hit enter, you'll see that I get this I get 2.682. Okay, now to solve for x, I need to get rid of this 5, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. Now here's the thing, I'm going to ask that you don't round until the end. So to do this, I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to press enter. That's going to bring it down, and then I'm going to multiply it by 5. So my final answer, if I want to round it to the nearest hundredth, would be 13.41. So this is what x is equal to. Okay, we're going to do another problem. So let's say, this is another problem. Let's say I have 4 times 2 to the power of x equals 80. Okay, your first step is you want to isolate the base and exponent. So I want to get this thing, 2 to the x, by itself. So I need to get rid of that 4, and it's 4 times 2 to the x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I'm going to get 2 to the x equals 20. And now, remember, to bring the exponent down, I have to take the log of both sides. So I have log 2 to the x equals log 20. And then now I can use that log property that's going to bring the exponent to the front. So I have x log 2 equals log 20. Now I'm trying to solve for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by log 2. So I'm going to put this in my calculator. So I have log 20 divided by log 2. If I hit enter, let's round to 2 decimal places. I'm going to get 4.32. Okay, we're going to do one more problem because sometimes it gets a little bit complicated. Okay, one last problem. So let's say I have 13 equals 3 times 7 to the power of x plus 3 minus 8. Remember, the goal is to get 7 to the power of x plus 3 by itself. So think about what I can first move. I can first move that minus 8. So I'm going to have 21 equals 3 times 7 to the x plus 3. Remember, I'm still trying to get the 7 to the power of x plus 3 by itself. So I have to get rid of that 3. I can do that by dividing. So I'm going to have 7 equals 7 to the power of x plus 3. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to take the log of both sides. Right? And I'm going to move the exponent forward. I'm taking a shortcut now. So log 7. And then again, the goal is to get x by itself. So I'm going to divide by log 7 on both sides. Actually, if you put this in your calculator, some of y'all may already know this, it's just going to give you 1. So I have 1 equals x plus 3. I'm going to subtract by 3 on both sides, so x equals negative 2. Okay? So this is how you solve equations using logs.